As you guys probably heard by now, Super Sentai is rebranding into Universe Heroes. And how exactly does this affect Power Rangers? Does it at all? Is this a big shift? Let's talk about it, break it down, hit that intro, Rangers.
You are watching the fan club.
You're watching the fan club.
And you're watching the fan club. Do you know what time it is?
And you know what time it is.
It's time for the fan club. Let's go. Hey!
I can't do this on my own, cause you know things ain't always sweet when you out here in these streets. But my morpher when it morphed, I made a fake one.
Universe Heroes is here. Now, what exactly does that mean for Power Rangers? What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Dan Brosnan in the building. We are so happy to have you guys. Welcome to the show. The more that I think about Super Sentai having a rebrand, the more I think it does affect Power Rangers in a few ways, okay? Does this mean that Super Sentai, or Toei I should say, as a company, is going to expand out west more, since Power Rangers is doing their own thing with original footage and not really using Super Sentai for the time being, right? Even if they do something original, like with the Super Sentai like suits, it might be like some Mighty Morphin or something, or maybe like, and it's probably isn't gonna happen, but maybe like an In Space or something. They're not going to pull from a newer Sentai season. And how exactly does this affect both franchises? Does Power Rangers not working with Toei hurt Super Sentai? And does Power Rangers not using the Super Sentai footage hurt Power Rangers? We're going to talk a little bit about everything, but the first thing that I wanted to do was talk about this article from Gizmodo, and they broke this down about the Super Sentai cancellation. At the time, there was talk that it could be canceled, but it is in fact getting a rebrand. Next year, it will be called Universe Heroes. Now, let's break this on down, okay? Reports suggest that series owner Toei will end the series with the climax of the currently airing number 1 Gojujure, which began broadcast earlier this year, citing budgetary concerns with profits from Super Sentai merchandise, as well as events such as movies and live show tours failing to match the series' production costs. Okay, so we did find out that this isn't getting canceled, but it is getting a rebranding, and a major reason why was budgetary concerns. They were not selling the movie tickets, the tickets to the live shows, and they weren't selling merchandise like they used to, or they would probably continue to do the same thing. I know they are ending their deal with the TV company that they've had a deal with for a very long time. There are like moments in a life of a company where you have to kind of change things up to get more with the times. From what I've heard, in Japan, this show was still airing on cable when everyone is really using streaming these days. I don't know how it works in Japan, but you would probably think a lot of their people are watching streaming apps too, right? Maybe they do want to make a shift, and Hasbro kind of made their own shift, right? Is it time for Toei to make their own shift? And Super Sentai maybe isn't making as much money as it once did. Same thing with Power Rangers. But instead of canceling it, how do we rework it? I think Super Sentai and Power Rangers are in very similar situations. And does Power Rangers doing its own thing affect the Super Sentai brand in the sense of Power Rangers used to give them money, and back in the day when they had Bandai making the toys, they would be double dipping, right? They would basically like redesign the first wave of toys from the Sentai to American standards, or I should say not standards, with the safety standards and stuff like that. And then you're basically giving them the suits and you're getting a cut out of that. So a lot of what Power Rangers did was paying for your production costs. With that gone, maybe just maybe, Super Sentai does have to branch out and do their own thing. And maybe now that they're not working with Power Rangers, they can have more freedom to do what they want. I think the last few years, you've really seen them double down on what they like, and you can tell that they were told, like, hey, we're not going to be using these suits, so you don't have to make them Power Rangers-esque, if you will. And they've made their own suits that probably wouldn't adapt well over in the Western market, but they're still pretty cool. They put together some good seasons the last few years, at least what I've heard from the fans. However, according to this report, they're not doing great when it comes to production costs, all right? They're basically having to put up all the money and they're not getting it back on the back end. So maybe people aren't watching the show, and if they're not watching the show, they're not buying the toys, because hate it or love it, these type of shows are meant to sell toys. So they are, in fact, a commercial in some way. Now, it can have a cool storyline and cool characters and a good theme song, but in a way, it's a commercial. It's something to get you to buy something, which is, in fact, a 30-minute commercial, right? Let's keep this going. Beyond its own legacy in its own home territory, of course, Super Sentai will forever be linked to the Power Rangers franchise in the West. The series, starting with 92's Zyuranger, provided suit, creature, and mecha designs for Power Rangers, as well as parts of its action footage for decades. Now that may change, with current Power Rangers owner Hasbro not having aired a series since 2023's Power Rangers Cosmic Fury. A reboot of the franchise is currently in the works at Disney+, and just what potential relationship it may have with Super Sentai material remains to be seen. Now, I'm hearing that they're now working with Toei on this, okay? There have been multiple reports that said that Toei says they're not working on this. So we can kind of pretty much confirm as we can without like an official Disney signature that Super Sentai or Toei will not be involved with the Disney Plus project. Should Super Sentai end with Gojujir and begin with a new name or format, that could likewise open up Toei and break them away from Power Rangers global branding and begin to market the series more widely around the world, something it has struggled to do in comparison to Kamen Rider recently, which began offering US simulcasts of its latest series, Kamen Rider, is it Zets, for the first time in the series history this year. Could they get some type of Super Sentai, or should I say Universe Heroes shows over to America? Now, based off of this little poster that they released where it had a bunch of Red Rangers, if they're going off of like the past and using past suits, I don't think it's going to work. Now, if they make an all original show and break free from like that Power Rangers model that I feel like they've been doing lately, they haven't been really making Super Sentai shows that are perfect to adapt because they know they're not adapting it, so they can do their own thing. I think it would be smart to kind of keep jumping in that pool, give us something different so maybe it could hit the Western market. Now, if it looks exactly like Power Rangers, that's going to be tough. Or if it looks different, but then out of nowhere you see like a Zyuranger pop up or like a Time Ranger pop up, you're going to be like, what the hell is this? Power Rangers is a Super Sentai? That wouldn't work. Now, it just depends on what they want to do. I know it's Universe Heroes, but maybe they do go back to like the old Super Sentai style and get some of those suits, or maybe they do something original. It's interesting. What are your thoughts? Do you think that Power Rangers going and doing its own thing had anything to do with Toei and Super Sentai losing some money? Do you think that, The toy sales have always been what they were for the last few years, but now that they lost that extra funding coming in, they have to do more, and they do have to rebrand now. They just can't do the exact same thing that they were doing for years, and that is a very good example on why Power Rangers should do its own thing and not continue to do the same exact thing that it's doing for years. We were in a really weird situation to the point where like it got put in hiatus, and now we're going to be back soon, but it's going to be something original. Now, if it's awful, if this original project just doesn't work, I understand wanting to go back to the Super Sentai element. Fully get it, and I will be on board if they shit the bed with this, but I think that they deserve a crack at an original show. Hasbro did pay a lot of money. I want to see what they do with it. Now, some of their movies and shows over the years have been really good. Some have been hit or miss, but I think they deserve a chance to see if they can knock it out the park. Now, what are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments. Shout out all the fans out there that take the time out of their day to watch this content. You are the real MVPs and the reason why we can continue to make stuff like this. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time. Peace. I want to give a special shout out to the Gold Ranger members, Salima Ramirez, Thomas Franco, Roderick Ham, and the Gamer TV Silent Gameplay. Thank you guys so much for your support, and if you want a video shout out like this one, sign up to be a Gold Ranger member today. Hey, what's going on? Thank you so much for watching this video. Please like, subscribe, hit that share button, and if you can, please sign up to be a member today. We have 3 membership power-ups. We have the Gold Ranger power-up, the most popular. You get into our exclusive fan club chat group. We have fan-exclusive videos that we are adding monthly now, and you get a video shout out. Yes, folks, at the end of our videos, I will shout out your name. We also have the Quantum Ranger power up where you get monthly meetings online with me. Yes, folks, we will talk once a month on Zoom, and you can give me your ideas for future episodes. And then we have a professional package, the Dr. K power up. That is for businesses that want to tap into the platform. If you guys can, please sign up to be a member today. It is highly appreciated, and it helps us keep these videos going. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Peace.
Hi, we're Bulk and Skull. We have been requested by the fan club to say something funny.